I love you with my heart, with my soul, with every fibre of my entire being. Together we really can make this world a much more harmonious place. Teamwork is the key. How are you doing today, beautiful soul? So, my message, or my question, should I say, is whose side are you on? You've got to pick a side. Is it the light side or the dark side? Which side are you going to pick? Dark or light? High vibration or low vibration? It's your call. What are you going to do? You've got to pick a side. Do you want to be with the darkness or do you want to be with the light? Is that really what we should be doing? Picking a side? If we pick a side, whether it's light or whether it's dark, are we not creating more duality? Isn't this what the so-called powers that be want? They want us to pick a side. It's just like you picking your favourite football team, or your favourite soccer team, rugby team, tennis player, basketball team. You know, in every competition, both sides are controlled by the same entity. Did you know that? Whether it's two boxers, whether it's two football teams, whether it's two tennis players, regardless of what it is, both sides are controlled. And this is how the game has evolved and how the game was created and how the game plays out. Because you've got two players, or you've got two teams, and there's a load of people rooting for one team, or one player, and a load of people rooting for another team or another player. You create duality. You create separation. This is how the game was designed. Everything is dualistic. Now when it comes to spirituality, you've got light and dark. And so many people say, well, I'm a light worker. And I've called myself a light worker before. I do work with lights, 100%. But the light that I'm working with is high vibrational light. There are light sources or forces that come through streams of light on this planet, outside of this planet, and not all of them are benevolent. It's very easy for a malevolent being to manifest or shapeshift into something that you might perceive as good or love or kind or generous. So you've got to be aware, and you've got to question everything that comes into your space. You've got to question every bit of communication that you have with other beings, or even your higher self. How do you know that it's your higher self? How do you know that it's another being? Because once you open this communication network, it's very easy for those channels to be hijacked and infiltrated. Now you've also got to look at dark and lights. People say that there's fallen angels and there's good angels. There's the devil, there's God. Okay? You've got Lucifer, you've got Archangel Michael. And Lucifer and the devil are two completely different beings. So let's not get confused there. Now, if you believe in Archangel Michael or some force of light, you're still choosing a side. You're still creating duality. Maybe dark and light is the last line of defense for the malevolent beings that are trying to control this world and keep us separate. You know, we've got countries, we've got borders, we've got languages, we've got colours, we've got financial status, we've got all of these things that are in our world, inside this game that we're playing, that keep us separate, keep us limited, enforce boundaries. We've got all of these sports teams. We've got all the way down to school children, different schools have different colours. Some schools cost a lot of money for your kids to go to, and some are free from the state. There's division, there's separation from the minute we come into this game all the way through to the second that we depart this game. And when we depart this game, the infiltration still goes on, because the passing back to spirit for everyone is not exactly what it seems. But we'll cover that in a different video, okay? Because when you pass back to spirit, people say go to the light, but that light is not always a real light. It's not the light that is there to help you as a spirit, as a soul on your journey. It's there again to infiltrate and manipulate and to send you back down into the game. But as I said, we're going to cover that in another video. But right now, the message that I'm trying to share with you is that it's not a good idea to pick sides. It's not a good idea to work with the light. It's not a good idea to work with the dark. What we must do is to know that each one of us is the power, okay? And to raise our own personal frequency. And if we just focus on ourselves, on our own hearts, focusing on unconditional love, joy, harmony, compassion, sharing and caring, if we just focus on these things, a lot of people would add forgiveness to that list. But personally, I don't like to add forgiveness to this list, because as soon as you forgive, you kind of accept that you did something wrong in the first place. And there is no right or wrong. There's just experience after experience. We shouldn't judge anything. So I take forgiveness off that list. Okay? Now, if we can remember how to be loving, kind, compassionate beings and focus just on ourselves, then we don't need to go towards anything in any particular direction. And then we don't exacerbate duality. We don't pick any sides. Now, when you're communicating with other beings, people say that you channel this information and you channel that information. For me, that would mean that the information is flowing through you. For me, that's dangerous. I don't operate like that. If I'm going to communicate with another being, I'm going to have direct communication. I'm going to have a conversation. Just like I'm sharing with you now. If you weren't inside that camera watching through this video screen, we could talk to each other. Okay? If you picked up the phone right now and called me, we could have a conversation. That would be direct communication, even though it's through a telephone. Better still, we could meet in a cafe or in a park, wherever that might be, and we could speak to each other face to face. That's direct communication. Now, when you're speaking with other beings, or you're working with guides, it's important that you have direct communication. And the beings that are there always ready and willing to help, that are always trying to push themselves into most people's lives, light workers, archangels, certain beings, extraterrestrial beings, not all of them are there to help you. What they are there is to serve an ulterior motive. And that ulterior motive is to get us to choose a side. That side may be light, that side may be dark. There's lots of people on this planet that use black magic. There's lots of people on this planet that worship the devil, that work with Lucifer. Okay? If that's what they want to do, cool, let them do that. There's also lots of people that work with angels. Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Zadkiel. Now, I'm not saying that these angels are bad, because when you create the game, you create the game to have two polar opposites. So you do have beings of light and beings of dark, and the beings of dark don't do very nice things, and the beings of light, they might do a lot of nice things. Okay? However, they're still creating duality, and we must not believe in either side. We must not put all of our eggs in one of these baskets. We must not put our faith in either of these sides. we must take a step back, communicate if we so wish, but then question the communication. Now, this is one aspect and one element of it. But then you go beyond that to higher frequency beings, extraterrestrial beings that are working in 6th, 7th density, that are pure vibration. And they manifest into different forms also. But they are not, to my knowledge, going to manifest in the form of an angel. Every time I've communicated with a being that is from a high vibrational frequency band or space, they are like vibration. They are like colours, geometrical patterns. Sometimes they manifest as the beings that they are in certain other planetary spaces or on other star systems. So they might come forth as a Lyran or an Arcturian. And even in that situation, you've still got a question, because darker beings can manifest in the form of whatever they want to look like for a short period of time. A reptilian being, for example, because there are good reptilians, but the darker, not so nice reptilian beings, they have to change their molecular structure on planet Earth if they're here visiting or walking amongst us every several seconds. So they have to use up a lot of energy to do that, and that's why when you're in a space and you might see someone change, their face might disappear and a lizard might come through, or a Draco might come through, or their eyes might change from human eyes to a slanty lizard's eyes, for a split second and back again. It's because they're shifting, they're changing. It requires a lot of energy, and that's why they suck a lot of the fear and why they want to keep us in this dualistic state, so they can suck this fear and keep us in these low vibrational states, so they can use the energy to walk amongst us and manipulate us. Now, they don't have to just manipulate us from here on this planet. They can do it from externally. They can do it from inside our physical bodies. They've got high technology that can send frequencies into our minds that control us. It's very easy for them to do that. It's also very easy, as I mentioned, for other beings to infiltrate and hijack the lines of communication between us and who we're communicating with. So if you settle down into your space and you come into your heart and you want to communicate with another being, and you open yourself up, you open your heart, you open yourself up to these different frequency bands that enable you to communicate, just like radio waves. Okay, these waves, these electromagnetic waves that are flowing everywhere, constantly, millions and trillions of them everywhere. We pick up these different signals and connect to different beings. Now, if you can't see these signals, and you can't see where they lead to, and you can't see what signals are coming into these frequency lines, then how are you going to know who you're communicating with? Okay, you've got to use discernment, and you've got to be aware, and you've got to question in all of these situations. You can't just take everything on trust. No fucking way. You have to question everything. And if you're speaking with a being and then you go back to speak to them again, you can ask them questions like about information that you've shared with them, and if it's the same being, they're going to know that piece of information. They're going to know it, like you've told your best mate yesterday a little story about you and your friend, or some escapade you got up to, or you and your children, whatever it was you told them. They're going to know this information. If you're speaking to someone that's infiltrating that being, it's highly likely that they're going to stumble, or they may not know that accurate information. So you can always check, you can always question. The best way to do this is to feel. You can feel the vibration of the being that you're talking to or you're communicating with, and you'll get to know the vibrational frequency of their energy signature. It's also possible for a darker being to come into a space and replicate another's energy signature. But if you stay in that space with them long enough and you ask a few questions and you feel, they will falter. You'll see a blemish in their armory, because they can't hold this space for long periods of time. There's going to be some kind of blip or some kind of frequency shift, and you'll recognize it. Sometimes they are extremely subtle, but if you're aware and you practice and you come from this space of your heart and you don't think, you're going to be able to feel, you're going to know. Now, sometimes the best way to remember these abilities of telepathy, to communicate with these other beings, is to actually fuck it up a little bit. Sometimes you're going to make mistakes, which aren't really mistakes because you're going to learn from them. So really they're great, they're incredible. But we'll just call them mistakes for now, where you do get infiltrated by a malevolent force and your vibration shifts, your mood changes, your thought patterns are different, your brain chemicals tip, you decide to go and eat some shit food, whatever it is. You need to question what happened in the communication early that day or last night. Go back into that space, and it's highly likely that there'll be some kind of attachment or stream of energy coming into your space that has come from somewhere malevolent, and then you're going to have to shift that. You're going to have to change that, and that in itself is something completely different again. I'm actually going to create a video series very soon on how to defend against a psychic attack, how to stop a psychic attack, and what to do after a psychic attack has taken place and you've already been infiltrated. I'm going to create a whole video series, and it's going to be really important because right now, during these times of ascension, the other side are kicking up a fuss, and they are trying all sorts to try and lower our planetary vibration, our human collective vibration, and target us as individuals that are really ramping up the vibration. So you've got to know what you're doing, but just be aware of this stuff. You know, I've trained a lot of people to heal with star magic, and there's a bit of a process after you start healing with star magic before you go out and you start running meditation groups, or you start doing healings and charging people money and all this sort of stuff. But not everybody listens, and I've seen a few people come unstuck where they've gone out, they've started to heal, and they're connecting to what they believe, because they're thinking and not feeling properly, benevolent forces. But really, they're malevolent forces, and they don't know this because they've not been able to tune in properly to their frequency, because they've been too erratic or they've been too gung-ho, and they've been infiltrated. They've had implants stuck into their physical body, they've had implants stuck into their etheric body, or they've actually had what I call shadow parasites infiltrate their physical body and work from the inside out, as well as working externally from a remote space. Now, in a way, this is kind of good, because what it does is it enables people to realize that they have to take this spiritual war seriously, okay? And really be aware and really use discernment and really feel, instead of just going in thinking that they can do this and that. It's important that we feel every single situation. Now, I suggested that we are having a spiritual war, a cosmic battle, and it is true. Even though it's a war, which would make you think that it's a war between two sides, what is important is that you realise it's not really a war between two sides. What it is one particular specific group that has a number of subsets off of this group that are infiltrating us as a human collective to try and lower our vibration and keep us as a food source to feed off our low vibrational energy. Now, what we mustn't do is go into battle with these people. Because if we go into battle with these people, we'll see these people as separate from us. Now, what we must do is just to focus on ourselves, as I said earlier. Step outside of the battle and just keep raising our own personal frequency. If we live with love and compassion good vibrational high frequency energy. You know, we play with the right geometrical light codes, and we love and share and care our fellow brothers and sisters. These beings can try and infiltrate us, and sometimes they'll succeed, and then you'll get back to the space where you need to be. And then they might succeed again, and you'll get back to the space where you need to be. But eventually you'll stay in that space, and you'll go higher and higher and higher, and you'll keep raising your frequency, and they won't be able to touch you. This is what happens. It may not stop them trying, they'll always give it a little go, but you'll just kind of become untouchable in a way. Now, as long as you don't go into fear, and you don't start doing anything manipulative to harm other people, or steal from other people, or take from other people in some monetary manipulative way, whatever it might be, or some psychological manipulative way, then you don't give any of these beings the right passage to come and take you out. Because there are certain laws inside this universe, and another being can't just come and eliminate you just like that. There are certain laws that prevent this happening. So as long as you stay authentic, and you stay true to your soul, and you live with love and compassion, and you step outside of fear into this space of love and joy and harmony and bliss, where you see everybody as one stream of consciousness, as a family, a tribe, a united force of unconditional love, then you're going to walk these earth planes freely. And you, my brother, my sister, are going to help raise the frequencies of other people on this planet. You're going to be a beacon of light for them to look to say, wow, that's amazing. And they're going to raise their frequency too. It's naturally going to happen. The energy that is coming into our solar system from the sun, from the central sun, these high vibrational frequencies are triggering awakening in so many people. So meditate, eat clean, stay away from low vibrational frequencies. Don't sleep with the Wi-Fi on. Stay away from the Wi-Fi as much as possible. The we-fry. That's what it's there for, to fry our brains, to infiltrate our consciousness, to lower our vibration. Again, it's another way. It's great for looking at certain videos like this and exploring certain pieces of information, but you don't have to be around we-fry 24/7, okay? Very important. And the high vibrational foods, the exercise, the meditation is a must. Drink water, stay away from drugs and alcohol, keep your frequency high. Stay away from pornography. Don't get addicted to anything. There are so many addictions in our game. So you have the power to step away from every single addiction. It's only the thoughts that other beings pump into your consciousness to make you think that you're addicted to cigarettes or cocaine or pornography. You can step away just like that. You've just got to decide. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but you can do it. You can do it 1,000,000% because you're powerful. Seriously fucking powerful. You have so much power inside of your own genetic makeup. You are an amazing being, a high frequency being. So go into your heart and realize how much of a unique, powerful, high frequency being you are. Don't choose a side. No fucking way. You're the power. Focus on your own cosmic heart. Raise your vibration and lift yourself out of this crazy game that we're playing all around us. Raise your frequency so high so there is zero fear and nothing can infiltrate you. It's a process. It's a mission. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's going to be a walk in the park. But start right now. Come into your heart. Start elevating your frequency. Start taking the right steps in the right direction to succeed. To fulfill this mission of being a high vibrational being from another planet or another star system here in this human body, having a human experience here to help your brothers and sisters, your family, raise the vibration our planetary and global vibration so we can move through this ascension process and move into a different space, a different frequency space. Raise your vibration, elevate the planetary frequency and the frequency of our human tribe so that joy, wisdom, harmony, divinity, unconditional love, compassion, sharing and caring oozes from every single cell in your human body, from every biophoton of light in your light body, so that it flows out from your Merkaba, out from your extended light body, into the cosmos and connects us to the truth, the cosmic truth, the vibrational frequency of source energy. Direct communication with the source, with the vibrational frequency that created all things. I love you with my heart, with my soul, with every fibre of my entire being. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel now. Please share this video with your friends, with your family, with your loved ones. If you're watching this on Facebook, please like it and share it with everyone you know. If you want to know more about star magic, the healing frequency that we use, that we train people in, please visit our website, starmagichealing.com. There's loads of incredible tools for you to elevate your frequency and move forward on this awesome path that you're on. I love you so much. I'll see you again very, very soon. One love, my brother, my sister. You are extraordinary. Peace out.